Do you know the feeling? Suddenly you feel dizzy, lightheaded, or anxious, and you have no idea why. You didn't have any clear thoughts, nothing that could obviously trigger these symptoms. In this video, I'll explain why your brain sometimes creates symptoms without you consciously thinking something negative, and how you can better understand and change this. Stay with me until the end because I'll show you simple steps to break these unconscious patterns. Many people experience physical symptoms like dizziness or lightheadedness and have already gone through medical tests without getting clear diagnosis. This leads to frustration, but often the cause lies deeper in unconscious thought processes. Science shows us that our brain constantly processing information, much of it unconsciously. These processes happen automatically without us being aware of them. You can think of these automatic thought processes as an autopilot mode. Your brain acts without you actually controlling it, especially stress or worries from the past, which you've experienced before, can be stored and later unconsciously triggered, especially when you find yourself in similar situations as when you first had these negative experiences. Your brain then triggers a stress response even though there is no clear danger. A key player here is adrenaline, one of our most important stress hormones. When your brain senses a threat, even if it's not real, your body releases adrenaline. This hormone prepares you for a fight or flight reaction. Your heart beats faster, your breathing becomes shallow, and you might feel dizzy or lightheaded. This reaction is an evolutionary protection mechanism that helped us act quickly in dangerous situations. But in modern everyday life, this function is often out of place. For example, your brain might still be on high alert due to an old stressful situation, even though you're calmly sitting in a cafe. The result is symptoms that seem to appear out of nowhere. Sometimes we even feel physical sensations that have no serious underlying cause. You might walk up the stairs and suddenly notice your breathing quickening or your heart racing. These sensations can be easily misunderstood. The problem starts when our brain interprets these sensations as a threat, triggering a stress response. So you might be thinking, but I didn't think anything negative. How can my body react like this? This happens because many thoughts and judgments in your brain are unconscious. Your brain may have learned in certain moments or even many times that certain situations or sensations are dangerous, even if that's no longer true. Here we can talk about negative judgments. You feel a physical reaction, like dizziness, and your brain automatically labels it as threatening. This judgment amplifies the symptom, even if there's no real reason. Often we don't realize these thoughts are running in the background, which is why we can't pinpoint a clear triggering thought. This is why it's so important that you understand that your brain works automatically. There may be no obvious thought that triggers your symptoms, but your brain often judges sensations as threats. I can't read your mind, and a machine can't read your mind, but you can learn to notice your own thoughts more consciously. A helpful tip is to write down your thoughts and symptoms. This makes unconscious processes more visible and helps you recognize patterns. Start paying attention to negative judgments in your daily life. When you notice symptoms, ask yourself, am I judging this as dangerous? Is this really a threat? Often, just becoming aware of this can interrupt the judgment process and reduce the symptoms. Train yourself to regularly write down your thoughts. This helps your brain shift to new, healthier patterns. Let's summarize. The symptoms you experience often have a backstory, meaning conscious thinking patterns on your mental processing level. But in some cases, there are no clear triggering thoughts. They come from automatic processes in your brain that run unconsciously. To break these patterns, you need to recognize and actively change your judgments. Take the next few days to write down your symptoms and thoughts. Every time you feel dizzy or anxious, note what you were thinking or how you judge the situation. You'll be surprised how often you unconsciously make judgments. This is the first step to breaking these patterns and regaining control over your body. Have you already seen my most important video for you? You will learn to understand your symptoms and find the path to change. Feel free to also watch this video here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to always stay informed about the latest posts.